The Wild Scepter, the amazing looking Anubis Scepter we get from killing the second Trials of the Gods boss in Assassin's Creed Origins, is totally up there with the best weapons in the game, but not as good as I had hoped. So let's take an in-depth look at this weapon in this video. If you like that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. The second Trials of the Gods boss is now live at the time of this recording, called the Sobek. Of course, check out my video with all the info and how you can kill him up on the channel right now. If you killed Anubis, the first Trials of the Gods boss, and now Sobek, then you get this awesome looking scepter. Because, let's be honest here, the Anubis face really makes this otherwise not interesting looking wooden stick stand out. If you did not kill Anubis and Sobek is your first victory in the Trials of the Gods event, then you get this super powerful Conductor of Souls weapon that I already discussed in another video. But when the third boss of the Trials of the Gods will be live, you will then be able to get this Wild Scepter. It has a quality of 94, meaning that it has nice perk levels, and it is really true, especially compared to the other scepters in the game. With a level 4 combo multiplier, your damage is increased every next hit in your combo by 25%, and also the critical hit rate perk on level 2 increases your critical hit chance by 30%. Nice, since you will be doing a lot of hits in a short period of time. So it's great to have a high chance of hitting them as a crit as well. Of course, it would have been better if the crit rate perk was higher. On level 3 you have a 40% chance, and on level 4 even a 50% chance that your damage is a crit, because the combo multiplier perk on a high level, so level 3 or level 4, is pretty common for other legendary scepters as well. But when you equip a scepter without a critical hit rate perk and then go back to this Anubis one, then you will fall in love with the fact that you will see some high yellow damage numbers sometimes. Speaking of crits, there's also the Health for Critical legendary perk, where all your attacks will be critical if you are below the 20% health, aka when you're almost dead. So this is insane if you are in a troubled situation to easily kill your opponents, but it's hard to play by those rules. And what I mean by that is that it's hard to get under 20% health yourself, because the risk is too high. Especially on the hard difficulty, meaning that the enemies can easily take you out with one blow if you are so low on health. It's simply not worth it. And trust me, I've tried many things to make sure that I got the Health for Critical legendary perk working. I tried setting myself on fire, then popping the Fury mode to get all the crits in, but most of the times the fire will still get you, or there will be so much enemies that it will simply be too risky to do it, because one hit will easily kill you. And yes, I also tried wearing a cursed weapon that eliminates 2 of your health bars, so I thought, oh, then I'm like faster to the 20% of your health. But no, this makes the health bar that is left the 100%, meaning that 20% of that is a way smaller portion, so not handy at all. Of course, with cursed weapons, you say, okay, you can keep the 2 health bars, those are gone, but the damage you do with that weapon is double, so it's pretty insane. So this kinda eliminates the use of the legendary perk and makes the scepter less powerful than I had hoped. It is just nice to have when you accidentally are low on health, but it doesn't help you when you are, for example, a good player that rarely drops below the 20% health. And that is kinda weird, because this weapon is supposed to be for the best players out there. And we also have the ceremonial staff that also has a combo multiplier at level 4, meaning that it's also really good for doing those combos, because the damage output will be insanely increased, just like with the scepter of Anubis. And this ceremonial staff also has the On Fire legendary perk, making sure that all the enemies that take damage also take an additional damage over time. They burn and sometimes even get stunned, increasing your damage output, and it totally outweighs the 2 extra base damage this Anubis scepter has. Okay, the level 2 critical hit rate, to give you more chance for critical hits, is really nice for a scepter, and better than the adrenaline on kill from the ceremonial staff. But if you rarely drop below the 20% health, then you can totally make a case for the fact that the ceremonial staff is better than this Anubis scepter, because of the legendary On Fire perk that you can use, while with the Anubis scepter you don't really use that legendary perk at all. Also kinda weird is that the Health for Critical perk, where you will always get crits below the 20% health, eliminates the use of the critical hit rate perk. It would have been better if you got a critical damage perk, so that the crits below the 20% would also deal way more damage. On the other hand, then you have very little use of that perk when you are above the 20% health. So most of the times, I don't know, this scepter is really up there. It's really one of the best scepter, if not the best, but I'm not totally mind blown by the stats. It could have been better. Still though, really great for the many cases you want to use a scepter in, like the moments in a trial where many enemies come at you. Because of the crits and the combo multiplier, you can easily take them out in the Fury mode. So that's of course really nice for sure. What do you think of this WAS scepter, the scepter of Anubis? Let me know in the comments down below, of course. Subscribe to stay up to date on way more Assassin's Creed Origins content. Check out my video on the horse pack, because there are some really nice weapons in there. And also my video on the Fire staff, the ceremonial staff. Kinda the other best scepter in the game. Like this video to support the channel, thanks a lot for watching, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.